And patronesses from various walks of life congregated at the prestigious Ozone Bay Hotel to grace this special fundraiser intended to contribute to the development of these disabled. The event saw a massive response from civil society, private and non-governmental organizations, all showing their unalloyed support to the cause of physically disabled. While the invited guests took their seats around the hotel pool, open to the cool sea breeze, the popular Humanity and Brotherhood bands provided the music. In a statement read on his behalf by Madam Sanyang, the chairman of the Federation, Mohamed Kora, applauded the massive response of the public and corporate sponsors to their call, which he acknowledged will raise their confidence anchored on the mantra that disability does not mean inability. The event culminated in the presentation of exhibited products, some of which were made by the disabled, and a raffle draw of some electronic products donated by local companies. For GRTS News, I am Samuel Ba.
You can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We now take our first break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The prosecutor in a manslaughter trial of Michael Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray, is making his closing arguments as to where he believes Murray is guilty of the charges before him. Prosecutors clashed with the medical experts for the defense, who portrayed Jackson as a drug addict and could have injected himself with propofol. Murray faces 4 years in jail if found guilty and could lose his medical license. This report looks back on the course of Murray's trial.
Conrad Murray manslaughter trial, including an audio tape of Michael Jackson slurring his words. And disturbing pictures of the singer's dead body. In court, a procession of Murray's former girlfriends and the constant presence of Jackson family members. Outside, supporters of both sides. Several prosecution medical experts testified about the dangers of treating Jackson's insomnia with the powerful anesthetic propofol, especially outside of a hospital. Murray declined to take the stand. His former patients did.
I'm alive today because of that man.
Do you have an opinion about whether Dr. Murray treats his patients with care and caution?
I have never had a doctor that was more caring.
Prosecutors clashed with medical experts for the defense, which sought to portray Jackson as a drug addict who could have injected himself with propofol.
Is there a reason why it's so difficult for you to answer my questions and it was so easy for you to answer Mr. Chernoff's?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
The judge fined defense expert Dr. Paul White, an anesthesiologist, for suggesting that Michael Jackson had his own supply of propofol, an allegation not in evidence. The prosecution also extracted a seemingly key concession from Dr. White, that he never would have treated Jackson the way Murray allegedly did.
If Michael Jackson had come to you, Dr. White, and indicated that he would like to hire you to administer propofol to him, to put him to sleep each night in his bedroom, would you do it?
Absolutely not. That would be a job that I would never consider accepting.
Murray faces 4 years in jail and the loss of his medical license.
Cricket is the national sport in Pakistan, and it has been a terrible week for the sport there. 3 high-profile players, 3 players that young people have aspired to be and look up to, have been jailed for their part in sport-fixing corruption scandal. CNN's Raza Sayer traveled just outside Islamabad to the home of the youngest player involved, Mohammed Amir.
Glory days of Mohammed Amir, Pakistan's teenage cricket sensation with the movie star smile. The picture's part of a shrine inside Amir's childhood home. But in this 4-room brick house in the tiny village of Changa Bangyal, an hour outside of Islamabad, no one's celebrating Amir's stardom right now. They're aching for the loss of his freedom.
I felt awful when I heard the news, and it's getting worse every day.
It's been a rough year for Amir's mother. Her son went from hometown hero to national embarrassment, sentenced to 6 months in jail after taking part in a betting scam.
He rose to stardom at the speed of light and fell back down just as fast.
Despite the scandal, Amer's brother and other family members still have a lot of sympathy for him. They simply refuse to believe he did this for money.
Amer still thinks like a child. He's very naive. He was forced into doing this. He wasn't greedy for money.
I'm absolutely sure he would never do something like this, says Amer's brother. He told us he was forced to do it. This is where Amer learned to play cricket in these dusty fields, a world away from the bright lights of London and the multi-billion-dollar world of international cricket. A cricket coach discovered Amer here when he was 11. He took him away to this boarding school and cricket academy just outside Islamabad. This was one of his classrooms. This was his bed. His room covered with handwritten motivational quotes.
Success and excuse do not walk together.
Asif Bajwa was Amer's former coach. Muhammad Asif, his teacher. Rizwan Akbar, his close friend. They all say the sudden change from a life of poverty to the world cricket stage was too much, too soon for the wide-eyed teenager. I've known him for 8-9 years. We lived together, says his friend Rizwan. I didn't think he would ever do anything like this. Those who know Amer are convinced he will play pro cricket again.
If he controls himself, if he manages mentally managed, definitely he will come back.
But with a 6-month jail sentence and a 5-year suspension from cricket, a comeback will take a while. Amer's mother says she'll wait and pray as long as it takes.
In my heart, I know that God is with him, and he will make a comeback with my prayers.
Reza Sayah, CNN, Changabanyal, Pakistan.
It's now time to take a look at the weather report by the Central Forecast Office.
The Gambia is endowed with a wonderful landscape full of baobab trees. Like its Cape Point in Bakau, it is one of the most exotic sceneries in the world. The baobab tree is a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and resourcefulness. For the baobab tree provides good food in times of hunger, rents its bark for medications, and its sap for glue. In the Gambia, there is a company like the baobab tree, 100% African and purely Gambian in all aspects. In know-how, design, value, capital, and management. That company is Elton. Elton, employing hundreds of Gambians and proudly associating itself with development in the Gambia. Elton, side by side with the Gambia.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the weather segment. First, we begin with the summary followed by the forecast. The day was characterized mainly by warm and partly cloudy conditions over the entire country. And to know what prevailed over the rest of the continent, we take a look at the image captured at 16:30 hours, indicating the presence of spots of convective clouds over Gulf of Guinea states, dense over the central, east, and part of South Africa. Elsewhere remain dry and stable during the period. For the forecast tonight, we'll be expecting warm and variably cloudy conditions to prevail over the entire country, becoming relatively cool. The day tomorrow will be warm and partly cloudy over the entire country. Winds will be mainly northwesterlies in orientation, but generally light to moderate in speed. For the minimum temperatures, we'll be expecting 22 degrees Celsius over Kerewan, 23 over Banjul, Yundum, Sibanor, and Jinoy, while Skawul and the rest of the country will be 24 degrees Celsius warm tomorrow morning. For the maximum temperatures, we'll be expecting 33 degrees Celsius over Banjul and Jindum. Karawan, Sibanor, and Jinoy will record 34 degrees Celsius, while Skawul, Sapo, and Jenyambure will be 35 degrees Celsius warm. Basse Fatoto, 36 degrees Celsius warm tomorrow afternoon. For those going to the sea, we'll be expecting a low tide of 0.55 meters at 11:17 a.m. and also 0.67 meters at 11:23 p.m. For the high tide, we'll be expecting 1.50 meters at 04:57 a.m. and also 1.32 meters at 05:55 p.m. The wavelengths will be between 1 to 2 meters high, and there will be northerly swells. The sun will rise at 7 in the morning and will set at 18:38. We now take a quick look at the international forecast. Thanks for watching, and do have a very good night.